Let's stop and think about narcissists as people who have a ravaging appetite. They're just starving all the time. They got to have something to eat. And it's not a physical hunger, it's an ego hunger. They need to satiate their ego, and no matter how much they satiate their ego, they're never satisfied. They never feel full. And so what they do is they look for supply, a food supply, a food supply for their egos. And they're looking for the most vulnerable people they can find. It's kind of like a lion who is hunting gazelle. It looks for the young or the injured, the weak gazelle. That's the one that the lion attacks because that's the low-hanging fruit. That's the easy prey. And you, my friend, if you are being attacked by a narcissist or have been in the past, guess what? You are the prey. You are the low-hanging fruit. You are that wounded gazelle that we've talked about so much in other videos. All right, so you're dealing with this narcissist, and how do you turn the tables on these people? This narcissist that is in your life. I saw a fun video not too long ago about lions who were attacking a young water buffalo, and you just felt sorry for the prey, but then something happened. The herd of buffaloes, water buffaloes, turned, saw what was happening, and attacked the lion. Turned the tables, and the lion ran off, had to go eat something else somewhere else. That, in effect, is what we can do to the narcissist in your life if we know how to do it. And here's how it's done. According to my experience, I'm nearly 70 years old. And over the decades, I've seen a thing or two. I've experienced a thing or two, and I just want to share with you some of these things that I have learned that's worked for me, and hey, I think they just may work for you. So I've got some ideas, and number one is just ignore your narcissist totally. Now, everything we talk about is going to kind of hinge on this, so pay close attention, but what we do is you need to think of the narcissist in your life, if possible, as being invisible. And I know that's not always possible, particularly if you're married to this person, or if it's a member of your family, or if it's somebody at work and you can't just quit your job. But when it is possible, this narcissist that has made your life so miserable, the guy, the woman who love-bombed you, and you thought this was the greatest person in the world. This is my friend, this is my buddy, or this is the love of my life, or whatever it was. Then you found out that that was just a charade. The person was just kind of acting out so they could draw you in. They were setting up a web. That is love bombing. That is grooming. And you fell for it. And the reason you fell for it, again, is because you were the low-hanging fruit. They saw something in you. They said, this person is vulnerable. I'm going to go after this person because they were hungry. They need to feed that ego. They're starving. I mean, all the time they're starving, and then they're not going to quit until you make them quit, until you turn the tables on them. So the thing to do is just, hey, they're invisible. If you see them out and about in public, ignore them, just like they're not even there. The reason this works is because the narcissist needs to control you. Now, I think this is kind of a cool analogy. Think of somebody who is a cattle rancher or a chicken farmer. I was going to say chicken rancher, but I don't think that's proper. They're keeping food to eat. Yeah, they have steak, they have eggs, they eat chicken. The farmer does, and his family. And that's what the narcissist is doing to you. You're their cattle. You're their chicken. Somebody, when they get hungry, they come out and have a bite. You're their garden. You're the fruit that's growing in your garden. They own you. They control you. No, they don't. Not anymore, because guess what? You are gone. When you ignore them, you're taking away the reins. Instead of you being in the boundaries of a fence, if you're a cow or a chicken, they got you in the chicken coop, or they got you out in the field, fenced in. No, now you're putting up the boundaries, and you're keeping out the narcissist, the farmer. Sorry, I'm not a cow. I'm not a chicken. You're not a farmer. You're just a jerk. You're somebody who has a serious problem, and going forward, you're just invisible. Number 2 is feel no obligation. No obligation whatsoever, because one of the tricks, and you know this, one of the tricks the narcissist uses is he or she wants you to feel obligated to him or her. Now, sometimes you actually are obligated, but not because the narcissist is somehow superior or greater than you, but because maybe you're married to him. So you do have some obligations, or maybe you share children with them, or maybe they are your children or your parents. So there are some obligations there. Maybe somebody you work for. You have obligations, but it's got nothing to do with their narcissism. It's just the circumstance, the situation that you're in. It's not related. If the person wasn't a narcissist, you would still have that connection. So you should have no feeling of any obligation whatsoever to lend them emotional or moral support. You are not their chicken. You are not their cow. You are not their food supply. You are not there to feed their ego. If it is an employer, a boss, you're there to work, get your job done. They're not paying you to let this person abuse you. It's not your job. I can't think of any job on earth where the job is to be abused. Well, I can't think of any legal jobs that are like that. Number 3 is this, and I think this is one that I have found very helpful, and that is invalidate their stories. Now, we've all heard the saying that there's 2 sides to every story, and that's the way that it is. Side number 1 is truth. Side number 2 is not truth, untruth, lie, make up, make believe, the act. What I'm interested is in the truth. What is the truth? That's a problem because the narcissist is very good at lying, and you know that. You've experienced it. I don't know why people believe their lies, but they do. I mean, a lot of people believe their lies. I was reading the other day about a serial killer. I'm trying to think of his name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But he told the story of how when he was a little boy, speaking of chickens, they had chickens that they raised on their property. I think it was like a farm. And he loved those chickens, and they became his pets, and he named the chickens. And one day, his mean mother killed one of the chickens and cooked it for dinner and made him eat it, and that so traumatized him that he became a serial killer. Why do we believe that? I mean, the guy's a serial killer. Why would we believe that story? You know, he told the story of how his mom would make him sleep in the basement to keep him away from his sisters. And we say, oh, that mother was so mean. She didn't have to make him sleep in the basement. Why do we believe him? Maybe she did need to make him sleep in the basement. Maybe he was a threat to his sisters. I don't know. But the point is, we just tend to believe people's stories. The narcissist makes up stories, and we tend to believe it. Other people believe it. But we need to invalidate those stories. We need to say, wait a minute. This guy's telling the story. Are you sure that's true? Because people, once again, faith comes by hearing. We tend to believe what we hear. Number 4 is no interaction. Now, this is kind of like number 1, but no interaction. Every interaction that you have with a narcissist is his or her opportunity to exploit you. That is to say, the words that you speak, the words that you write, even the expressions on your face. I guarantee you, what this person is doing, true blue narcissist, what they're doing when you're talking to them, and you're sharing with them private things, personal things about your life or opinions of other people, they're taking note. They're creating a database in their minds, an inventory of all those things you said, and when it's time to discard you, or maybe even before then, they're going to these people and they are embellishing what you said about them to make it sound like you're gossiping and trash talking behind their back. How do you stop that? Well, you don't interact with them. You got nothing to say to them. Nothing. I mean, nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Number 5 is this. You probably already know this, but if not, I'll tell you. And if you do, we'll remind you, and that is don't fight with these people. Arguing with, and I'm not talking about physical fighting, but yeah, that would be included, but arguing with a narcissist does absolutely nothing other than maybe make you blow off steam and feel good for the moment when you're in my narcissist's face and you're telling him or her off. Makes you feel good, but you know what? You may not have realized it, but you are feeding the narcissist ego because he or she tricked you into getting into an argument. That's called baiting, by the way. Lured you in. They're just they're pleased as punch because they're controlling you. They're pulling your string and you don't even know it. Number 6 is see them for what they are, and that is children in adult bodies. Now stop and think about this. When a child is a preschooler, a little toddler, they have a couple words they learn to say right off the bat. One of them is they learn to say no because they hear it all the time. And the other word they learn to say is mine because everything belongs to them. Everything. They see something, and by virtue of the fact that they see it, it belongs to them. If it exists, it belongs to them. That's my mom. That's my dad. Okay, we're okay with that. Those are my toys. Okay, we're okay with that. Whatever it is that happens to be sitting on the table at the moment, that belongs to them. Everything they see in the house belongs to them. Everything in the backyard belongs to them. If some other kid is playing with something, that belongs to them. It's mine. That's narcissistic thinking. The difference is the narcissist is no longer in a toddler's body. That's pretty much it. Everything the narcissist says, everything is mine. So see them what they are. These are just little kids. Number 7 is put them on the defensive. And what we mean by that is if you must engage with a narcissist, what you need to do is you need to consider asking them directly about their childish, selfish behavior. And if you do this in public, what you are doing is you are pulling down the mask that is hiding the narcissist immaturity. Number 8, disengage. This is kind of like number 1. But narcissists will prod you through use of smear campaigns. And what you tend to want to do is you want to fight back. You want to create your own smear campaign. Now, there's nothing wrong with exposing the truth. But what you don't want to do is get in this tit for tat, which is common among everybody. I mean, every animal you can think of, and I've seen scientific research on this, when they would observe groups of animals, it's all tit for tat within that group of animals. Same kind of animals, monkeys or whatever they are. If one monkey offends the other monkey, hurts the other monkey, the offended monkey will fight back. That's just nature. That's natural. That's what nature has programmed our minds to do, how we respond, how we react. But what we find is when we do that with a narcissist, what happens is they begin to antagonize you even more because this is a fight. Their ego is at stake, and they're going to protect that. Their mask is starting to slip, and you're pulling it off. They're going to defend that with every ounce of energy in their body. Now, you already know this, but they recruit armies of flying monkeys. These are agents. These are narcissist, proxy narcissists, doing their job for them. They go out, they trash talk you, and these people believe them, and then they start to trash talk you, and they will hate on you. Flying monkeys will hate on you. Well, I'm going to get them back. I'm going to do the same thing to them. And you know what? You are providing the narcissist with supply. So the way to turn the tables on the narcissist is not tit for tat. Okay, you do it to me, I'm going to do it to you. I'm going to turn the tables on you. No, you're not. That's not how you turn the tables on them. The way you turn the tables on the narcissist when they discard you and they send that army of flying monkeys to destroy you through viral slander and gossip smear campaign You got to find the strength to not do it back to them. I'm not saying you don't tell the truth so the truth gets out there, but you don't go on a smear campaign, because then you're just mirroring the narcissist. You're just bad as he is. Do you see those two rectangles on the screen right there? If you click on one of those, what will happen is this conversation will continue. So it's up to you. If you want to keep talking, let's keep talking. Click one of the boxes. If not, well, then we'll see you next time.